Hi and welcome back to my channel, Kissed by Starlight. Thank you so much for being here. I wanted to just pull some cards to bring through messages of light from the divine, from love, from spirit, just to see what they would like to, what messages are here for us today. And that one I think really wants to come in. So we've got deep heart, believe in divine destiny. So what's been going on in your world? What's been happening for you these past few days, weeks? What's been experienced by your beautiful, deep heart? What messages, what signs, what callings have you been having? What warning signs have you been seeing perhaps in your current experiences? And of these warnings, of this smoke, this perhaps unsettlement, perhaps there's something unsettling happening in your world, something that's been causing deep reflections, deep dives into your feelings, your emotions, perhaps sadness for some, perhaps grief, perhaps wondering about your calling, your destiny, perhaps wondering about love, about relationships, about loved ones here and past. Perhaps things have felt confusing. Perhaps there's been signs to you that you've not been able to understand, things that haven't been clear, that haven't been giving a clear message to you. And perhaps you've been wondering what all of this means and what is life trying to tell you, and what can you salvage from this? You know, what does this leave you feeling, thinking, feeling, knowing in your heart to be true? What revelations have been brought to you for you to unpack and question and decide about your life, you know, about what it's teaching you? And I think the spirit of the fox here is a very clear message of trusting the information that's coming to you, trusting those clear signs, those thoughts, those repetitive thoughts I'm hearing, the ones that keep warning you of something, that keep saying to you, hang on, this isn't quite right, this doesn't feel quite right. And trusting that you have the strength and the capability to adapt, to change, to use all of your instincts and your knowing of how to survive to help you move through this situation, whatever this is. And I think this is going to be different things for different people. Again, this is a general reading, so it won't resonate for everybody. And you must trust your inner knowing on this. You must trust your inner sight, your inner guidance that's leading you, that's helping you work out what is actually happening here. And for some, this is actually, I'm feeling it's more than just a difficult situation. I think it's tied into a lot of things. It's tied into your feelings of wondering what your future path is, you know, what road is open for you in terms of your destiny, or perhaps your career, perhaps your life path, perhaps your purpose. Perhaps all of these things are tied in somehow. If it's to do with a relationship, perhaps that relationship is also affecting your work in some way, or your relationships with other people, or your home life, these things seem to be intertwined with each other, and I think there's a lot of fog and confusion being caused. So on the one hand, it's almost like you're being asked to return to that space where you dwelled in magic and mystery and belief and promise and the trust in yourself to create, to manifest, to experience that which you came here to experience. I'm seeing on the one hand a lot of light. I feel like that light is you. That light is your calling, your path, your heart maybe. And on the other hand, I'm seeing a lot of sadness, grief, destruction, maybe chaos, transition, like a transition period. And I think this may relate to something coming to completion in your life. You know, this is a sign of a phase that is, or a cycle that's nearing its completion. And in nearing its completion, I think the warning signs have been there. I think the messages have been there, and it may be that you've been able to see them or hear them, feel them, know them. Maybe you've not had the strength to deal with them yet, or the understanding of what it is you're being asked to do even. And I think sometimes that can be it, that we don't actually know what it is we're supposed to do. Sometimes we can see something's not quite right. You're being protected. You're being watched over. You're being divinely protected in this situation. You're not alone. It may feel like you're alone. You may have felt the situation has left you feeling alone or isolated in some way, or cut off from love, from stable help, friendship, support. But actually you're not alone, and Spirit is very much watching over you. They're very much keeping their eye on this situation, and you are safe. You are protected. You will be protected. There is this divine protection standing, watching over you, and that is there. We're also getting play with me, and her hand gentles the war. And I think, you know, this can relate to a lot of things, but often when I see this card, it's relating to it being time really to call the battle to an end, you know, to say it's time to stop the fighting. This isn't getting anywhere. You know, when two beings become locked into struggle, sometimes it becomes difficult to even know what that struggle is about in the end, because they're just so used to locking horns and fighting that they don't even know what they're fighting about anymore. You know, the whole point of it becomes lost, and something has to intervene. Something has to step in and really, you know, pull this apart, call for this to be over. And, you know, on the one hand, again, it's like these two different things that I'm seeing in the cards. You know, these two sides of something. You know, one side is very light. You know, we've got play with me. We've got this lightness, this wanting to be free of something, to be light, to be happy, to be in that energy. And on the other side, we've almost got this kind of destruction, this difficulty, this chaos, this something coming to completion. And I think this something coming to completion is the thing that is no longer aligning with your energy. Your energy, I think, is this lightness, this magic, this eternal childlike sense of wonder and anticipation and really innocence, you know, empathy that is you, that maybe is being very damaged by a situation in some way. You know, you're feeling very sad and your energy is being pulled into something which doesn't feel any longer like you. It feels like something that is not for you anymore. It feels like something has to be brought to a close. It's time to finish this cycle. It's time to have the strength and to trust the inner voice enough to be able to step away and say, you know, really, what good is this doing? What good is this bringing? Is this actually serving any longer? And in that moment, when you step away from the battle, when you step away from the war, or the fight, or the conflict, you'll be able to see what is truly there, what was there all along, and what there will become more of. And I think there are things that are as yet unseen. There are things that are going to be brought in to your world, to your existence, to your life, that perhaps you can't see yet, you're not aware of yet, you're going to be pleasantly surprised by. There's going to be more. And what there's going to be more of in the beginning is more of a trust in yourself, more of an opening of your own divine and sensual nature, that passion in you that perhaps has been put aside. You know, that passion that has maybe not been able to be expressed in some way. That divine spark, that true nature of you, that love that causes things to come together, to be created, to be seen, to be heard, to be witnessed. You know, there's going to be more of that. You're going to be able to feel more of yourself as you get more into your own energy and away from whatever has been fragmenting that energy, whatever has been taking that energy from you. Now there's going to be a revival of the old into the new, and you're going to see what's been missing from life, what's been also opened up within you, because I feel as if this has opened a door. This has opened a door into more seeing, more knowing of your heart. And even you're going to see more love for yourself as you open this door, as you allow this gateway to uncover and unfold what's been hidden there all along. And, you know, some of that is not easy. Some of that is where you may have had your own trust issues, your own situations that have caused you to be cautious, that have caused you to be guarded, that have caused you to close. Now you're going to see how you can open that up, but open that up to the right thing, to the right situation, to the right person, to the right goal and outcome, to the right people. You know, whatever this is for you, whatever this situation is for you, there's going to be this sense of a revival, a coming back of the old you, but in a much as a new you. I don't really know how to describe that, but it's bringing back aspects of the old, but the good old, and also opening up a whole gateway to the new. And even just the octopus symbolism, you know, the octopus and all of these fish, you know, there's vibrancy, there's life, there's faith, there's trust, there's companionship, there's community, all of the things. There's such an emotional intelligence that perhaps you haven't had before, perhaps you haven't really understood. this situation has caused you to actually understand a lot more about yourself. And while at the moment that may actually not feel easy, you know, maybe that's difficult for one reason or another, in truth, it's actually done you the world of good. It's actually done you the world of good, because it's enabled you to see yourself as the warrior. It's enabled you to stand strong, to actually lose an aspect of fear that you've been carrying within you over time, maybe for a long time, maybe since childhood. Maybe some of your childhood fears and traumas and situations have been presenting themselves to you recently, and perhaps this has made you wonder, you know, what's really out there for me? If this situation is over, this cycle's coming to an end, who am I in that? Where do I stand in that? And how do I go forwards? But you must trust that you're not alone. You're never alone. And again, we're being guided to the intuition, the intuitive messages, to unlocking that magic within, that magic that I saw earlier, that I was saying to you is part of your divine nature. That's all there for you now. You're uncovering that now. Now you're going to allow that to shine, because it's been held back in some way by this situation, and by this situation coming full circle. And it's interesting, this card has come up because we have a full moon coming up soon. And I think this full moon is going to mark the completion of this cycle, this situation, whatever it is that you've been in, whatever it is you've been asking about. And it's going to, although it may be, an aspect of it may be bringing things to a close, at the same time it's actually marking a really important new time for you, a new gateway that you're walking into, a new situation you're walking into, where you're able to be even more open-hearted. I feel like something has been freed, something has been witnessed, has been freed, has been released, has been let go of, something that you've been carrying for a really long time. And you're learning now, you're learning how to use that information, to use that power to help you move forwards, in life, to use your gifts and your talents to travel into new situations, new journeys as the whole you, as the mystic, you know. And the mystic is one who has learned how to master their skills, their gifts, their talents. They've understood something about themselves that's now enabling them to stand strong in that warrior energy, in that truth, in that wisdom. And I'm seeing, you know, an element of the divine goddess, the divine feminine, standing with you here, helping you walk forwards with that new energy, listening to everything that you've learned and bringing you into that new realm, that new success. And isn't it lovely, isn't it beautiful that we've got the sun and the moon, the divine masculine, the divine feminine, side by side. Follow the voice of your soul as you come into that understanding of how to be both, how to see both in yourself. You know, maybe you've been mastering one of those energies, because we all carry those energies, which it's not about gender. We all carry the masculine and the feminine energies within us, and as we learn to bring them into balance, we become more whole, we become more aligned, we become more in touch with our soul, our spirit, our purpose, our passions, and we learn how to not only hear our intuition but to act on it and to move forwards into success in and mastery in areas of our life where perhaps we might have struggled before. So I feel that whatever this situation is and whatever it has been for you, that actually it's lifted you, it's enabled you to stand really strong in who you are and who you've always been, and to bring together the light and the dark, the shadow, the parts of yourself that perhaps you didn't really want to look at before. Well, you've had to. They've been there in your face. You've come face to face with them, and you may not have liked that or enjoyed that process. That may have been messy in some way, shape or form, but actually it's shown you everything you've been through, everything that's made you who you are, and in many ways it's helped you now to stand in that, to be purposeful in that, to even have more love for yourself within that, and to gain the wisdom from that, the wisdom of the mystic, the harnessing of that power, coming into your power, coming into that sense of truth and authenticity that can only come about when we recognize who we are, what we've been through, what that's made us, who that's made us, and to have love and compassion for ourselves within all of that. Because after all, that wasn't an easy path. It's not been an easy journey. And yet here you are, here you are, here you are. It's time to trust. It's time to trust and know that you are protected. There is a purpose. There has been a purpose to this situation. However difficult it's been for you, however much it's challenged you, however much it's brought you maybe to your knees at times, now you can trust what you have, and what you have left is you. It's always been you. It's been you all along. And as you claim back yourself and you walk in that power, that love, that sovereignty, that truth of you, more good, more happiness, more success, more love, more trust, more abundance in whichever way, shape or form you need can appear. It can appear for you now, because you've freed up and let go of whatever is not yours. Whatever is not yours to have, whatever energy is not yours to own, you're allowing that to leave now, and you're standing as you. You're standing as you, with all elements, working with all the elements and the 4 directions to really help you harness, control, master everything that you came here to do at this time, and to take you even further than that into the beyond, into whatever is beyond, and bring it to fruition, to completion, and bring it back to the sun, and the sun is ultimate success, happiness, abundance, light. It's walking forwards now in that light, and knowing that the darkness, the shadow, the difficulty, the wounds, the traumas, they've all helped build you, helped shape you into who you are now. They've all helped to bring you here. So accept them, love them, be grateful for them even. Be grateful for what has brought you here, even when it felt like it knocked you, because actually it's only made you better, it's only made you stronger, it's only made you able to see more with the eyes of love and compassion, even for those others who are now walking something similar or going through something similar. You'll be able to help, you'll be able to pass on your wisdom, pass on your words, your understanding, your knowledge, your support to them, your healing, because you know what healed you, you know what helped you, you know how you got here, and now you're here. Then the world can be your oyster, as they say, because you've reached this place, you've finally reached this place where you can see where you can see, where you can trust, where you can know what it is you need to know right now, and to trust your guidance and know that you have everything you need to survive, to be better. Yes, sure, you have the wounds of whatever it is you've suffered. You have the scars, let's say, but those scars are now like medals of bravery, of courage, of wisdom, and they now are with you as you walk forwards, as the true master that you are, and you know, have always been. So forgive yourself for any mistakes you've made. Love yourself through whatever you're journeying through, and allow yourself to take that next step in whatever is your guidance, knowing that you are watched over, you are loved, you are held, and you are very much wanted and needed on this earth. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all that you do and continue to give and do for yourself and for others. And just remember to thank yourself. So I really hope this reading has been helpful and healing for you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your love and your support, your comments. I love to hear from you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next reading.